If your next move is to new construction,
make sure you check
on these 3 things that we're going to talk about before you sign that contract. It could save you thousands of dollars.
Thrilled you're here.
We're so excited
to share this information.
And this video is going to save you money on your next new construction house.
Let's get into it.
Y'all, thanks for joining us. My name is Alex, and if we're meeting for the first time, I'm your friend in real estate in Nashville. I have over 23 years experience, 1,100 families served, and over $500 million in volume. And we love bringing great content like this to YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. I find and use a lot of YouTubers in all areas of my life. And so we want to ask you, if you find any value in what we do today, help us out with 2 things. Subscribe and help us by sharing this with at least 1 or 2 people you know that are considering a move to Middle Tennessee and have their next housing plans Middle Tennessee. That helps us provide it, but we want to earn it. So let's get into the video because we're going to earn it today.
Let's go.
Do your research. Now, we live in the information era. You can literally find so much information. It's out there. It's in our phones. We carry computers in our pockets. We can find all the things. Now, when we're talking about new construction today, do your research in the subdivisions and the geographic areas you're thinking about. Now, we're talking about not a full custom, and we're really talking about semi-custom and spec as far as the things we're looking at today. So really, semi-custom and spec is what we're talking about. A full custom, you get all the choice. You buy the land, you have the builder, you hire the architect, you hire the designer, all that. That's a different video, and you can check in on that in our library. But today, we're talking about typical subdivision, suburban, houses that have 2 or 3 builders in them, and they've been developed and have the lots. So one of the first things you want to do is find out how many lots are going in this. What school districts are these in? What amenities do they have? And find out how many builders are in the neighborhood. How many phases are there going to be? If they have multiple phases in the neighborhood, they may only be in phase 1, but then they're going to build really small houses in phase 2, which could hurt your value if you're buying a big house. You want to find out the different amenities that they're going to have in the neighborhood. Is it gated? Is it not gated? Is there community pool or playground or access to greenways? You just want to find these things out so you can make sure you have an informed decision, but also before you're getting into the details around the house. Now, getting into the details around the house really turns into a whole bunch of other things because you start picking everything when you get into the development. Now, listen, one of the other things you want to ask when you're doing your research is you want to look and see if they have a preferred lender, and if working with that preferred lender gets you any benefit. Does that get you paid title? New construction, it's common that the buyer pays title, but if you find a builder that has an incentive that's saving you money, you need to know. You need to know what benefit you have if you are unrepresented, because that's a risk and that's a choice, and you should get direct financial benefit. So ask, hey, if I were to come in unrepresented, what financial benefit would I get? And it should be a very clear, very concise answer of yes, and it works this way. It'll be an exact price. Now, more times than not, builders are absolutely expecting to work with an agent, and candidly, they prefer to work with an agent because they get to help work with the client and guide the client, where the builder just wants to build, just tell me what to do. They don't want to get into all the processing and all the strategy and all the history and all the future resale. They're focused on this sale. And so both their agents and their on-site agents will really prefer to have as many people in the process, and they generally have it in the budget. And you don't get that direct benefit, then you might as well have the expertise of someone like me that's done it thousands of times to help you get the most positive experience and good guidance, but then also make you some money-making decisions throughout the process as well. So make sure you ask that question and see how and where your benefit could be. The next big mistake people make around new construction is they pull into the neighborhood with the big banner out front that says homes starting from $800,000. Well, the reality is there's probably a home in there that starts in the $800,000, and it's on a funky lot, and it's in the back of the neighborhood where everybody's lights come through, or it's at the front of the neighborhood and everybody goes right past it, and it has almost no upgrades and a front load garage and all these type things, right? Well, you want to make sure that you start to talk through what is the price of the house that you want. Because what you're going to do, you're going to park and you're going to go into that model, and the model is going to be all the way tricked out. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to have all the upgrades, and it's going to have all the higher end finishes and the higher end granite and the side entry garage and the lot premium and the patio and the outdoor fireplace and the fence. And all of a sudden, instead of 800,000, you're looking at like $1.4 million. And so that's a part of the process. Now, it's not a trick. It's all all upgrades and it's all choices. But here's the key is you need to be asking the builder and their agent and their designer, what are the size homes that are going in here? Now, this kind of goes back to research, but you've got to do this in the process of what are most people choosing. If you find that 70% of the people are choosing to put hardwood floors on the main floor, well, then that's something you probably want to do. Or maybe not. Maybe there's a glass door, and glass doors can cost $1,500 to $3,000. But if most people in the neighborhood are doing it, then it's probably a good idea to go ahead and do it at the same cost from the builder without a major upgrade and go ahead and at least be even with the neighborhood. And you want to, because those are trends that they have hyperlocal expertise in to guide you in this process. So you want to talk about what upgrades, what selections, what floor plans, and again, what phases, what are the size of the houses that are going in those different phases. You also need to ask the builder about their processes. Are there homes that we can buy and close on today in the next 30 or 45 days? Some builders carry speculative and have made choices like that, and you can go right in and buy them. And some of them will make you get in line and be in process with them for a full 9 to 18 months. Different builders, different processes, different selections, different ways of doing business. These are key things that you need to know before you sign on the dotted line in new construction. Third, and our final tip is when you've done this, you've priced it out, you've got it all planned, and we're going to spend the $1.4 million. We're on the large lot, we're paying the lot premium, we've got the side entry garage, we've got the level 5 granite. You got to prove it right or prove it wrong. And I've had this conversation with clients many times where they've called and said, it's the one, and I'm like,
amazing.
Then it's not going to hurt for us to pull 2 or 3 others and close on yours or go with yours first and then look at these 2 or 3 others just to prove it right or wrong. Won't hurt, doesn't cost an extra thing. Happy to do it. More times than not, you will go through and find when you started at 800, but you've gone up to $1.4 million, there's a lot of variance in that big price range in the gap. So you want to make sure that you check the resale market and you want to make sure that you go, hey, if I've got to get in line and wait on this builder and make all these selections and go through this build process over the next 9 to 18 months, uncommon, that's a pretty typical build timeline. If you're going to do that, let's just peek into the market and find out right now, what could I buy for the same money? And I've done this 2 different times in my personal processes and dozens of times with clients, and it's really a split decision. Sometimes it absolutely proves things right, but I've easily had clients come through and look at houses and are like, well, I gotta wait on all this other stuff and all this construction, and I gotta be in the construction, and I could just buy that and be done, and it's got the pool and the patio and the fence and it's ready to go, and I can have a pool party next week. I'm like, yeah, you can. And they were like, cool, I'll do that. So just go through and think about the time, think about what the dollars are doing as you build it out before you make that commitment. Just go back through and prove it in the resale market too, just to make sure that you bought the best thing with your pricing and your decision and your geography. Okay, guys, did you find something valuable today? Did you find value in today? Let us know. Drop us a comment below. If you've heard a question that I need to answer, drop us a comment there. We'd be happy to shoot a video or answer a direct DM about that. If you want to get in touch with us and your next move is to Middle Tennessee or to move out of Middle Tennessee, we'd love to connect with you. You can follow our links right here and we'll schedule a private meeting with you to talk about your goals and your timeline. And whether it's 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years from now, we can earn the opportunity to be your agent of choice. We'd love to connect with you and earn that opportunity. But if your next move takes you out of Middle Tennessee and or never had Tennessee anything in the equation, we'd be happy to still introduce you to one of our friends in our agent network across the country, in the world for that matter. We very much invest in that. We spend time with other great agents that can also have major influence for you and your family in your next market. So if you need that introduction, you can follow that link as well. But I love bringing great content like this to you, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Let us know what questions we can answer. But until we connect again, my name is Alex, and I'm your friend in real estate in Nashville. We hope to see you soon. Keep on keeping on.